What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ham and Spam Retro Review, the show where two lifelong friends replay the games from our childhood, see if they stand the test of time.
Check us out online at hamandspam.com, where you can find links to our social media, including Twitter, where it's at hamandspam1,
Instagram at Ham and Spam Games,
and search us on Facebook, Ham and Spam Retro Review,
and coming soon to YouTube.
eventually. Thanks for listening.
Hope you enjoy the show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode number 30 of the Ham and Spam Retro Review. Welcome back in the luxurious Ham and Spam studio. One Hammy. We didn't time that out very well as you took a drink.
Yo.
Hammy's back. Wasn't feeling well a couple episodes ago. Then we had to have a sub in treat last week, but he's back and no time flat, because this week we are, if you were following us on Instagram, you found out we are reviewing Zelda, A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo. This is it's funny how this episode came aboard. Are you gonna say anything?
I'm just taking it in.
Okay. It's been a minute, huh? This game came to fruition whenever we mapped out our first 30, and Hammy put it to me. He said, "You're going to do a Zelda game." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Here's one of the best games that we can do. It holds up from a graphical standpoint and everything else. I'm going to give you my Wii U, and it's going to be Twilight Princess."
Well, actually, we were going to do Ocarina first.
That's true. And then you kind of were like, well, the controls and stuff, I don't,
after Banjo-Kazooie, and
right.
we realized that N64 controller was not what it used to be.
Sure.
I decided maybe Twilight Princess would be better.
Because of the 2-button layout kind.
Right.
It's
two-stick layout.
Two-stick, not 2-button.
I was thinking, wait a minute, Nintendo, what?
Nintendo? No. So yeah, we started out with Twilight Princess, and then football happened. So I was playing this game probably week 15, so back in episode 15, and I had 15 weeks to complete it. And about 6 weeks in, I said, man, I've played like almost zero of this game. Loved it. Loved what I was into. And this is coming from someone that wasn't, I don't want to say huge on Zelda. It just kind of never got my palate. I guess maybe because all the magic stuff and whatnot that goes with it. That's not really my cup of tea when it comes to video games particularly. But I really did enjoy it. The 3D Zelda game had a lot of things going on, a lot of buttons, a lot of things you had to go get. It was, I mean, and I don't mean that, in satire. I mean, it was fun. It was. It's a pretty long game though.
It's a good meaty game.
Sure. So a couple weeks ago we started mapping out everything from 31 through 50, And I told Hammy, I said, hey, I don't think I'm going to have time to finish this game all the way. It's going to be kind of a crappy review on my part. And as I mentioned before, my biggest Zelda experience was A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. So, especially since the Switch had the Super Nintendo Online come out, it, made it quite easy, a lot easier for me to play as we went. So we kind of called an audible, and here we are today doing A Link to the Past.
All right.
I've missed you. I'm glad you're back, buddy. I'm glad you're back.
I've completely forgotten how to podcast.
Oh wow, 2 weeks away, a week away, and you've forgotten how to podcast. Yep. Well, that happens to the best of us. So, this game is an absolute staple of the Super Nintendo in the 16-bit era. Came out in '91, late '91 here, '92 over in Japan. Widely reviewed as one of the best games of all time. Mm-hmm. From one of the best series of all time. So,
yeah, my absolute favorite series.
And I think that's kind of why you're kind of reserved right now, because I don't know. It's like, if we talk too much about it, you might not do it justice. But if you don't talk about it enough, then you don't do it justice. So,
well, there are people I know who listen to this, and I don't want to nerd out in front of them.
I want you to like just dip your toe in the water and nerd out just a little bit, because this right here is a series that, for me, I know little to nothing about. I'm not to the point where I'm a noob where I think that the male character is Zelda. I know that is Link, but a lot of this is new. We were talking beforehand about the Triforce being 3 different pieces, obviously but each part of the Triforce represents different, I don't say different people, different.
Different characters.
Different characters, but different the different strengths of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as 3 different timelines.
Right.
And, and I know you said you don't want to get into the entire backstory, but this thing just branches. It's got one centralized game that was like the 4th or 5th game. Well, it wasn't even that. It's probably the 8th game of the whole entire series. And that's like the central hub game, and that would be Ocarina of Time.
Right.
And then it branched out,
Yeah, it started off, there was one story.
Right.
And the whole Zelda lore is like Greek mythology. It's super deep, super complex.
Which is probably another reason why you really like it. You've always been a mythology guy,
yeah.
Greek mythology
and the story
guy.
And lore are really, really appealing to me. But yeah, Ocarina, like you said, I think it was like 7th or 8th game in.
Yeah, if you include all the Game Boy, because they had a ton of Game
yeah.
Boy games that I just guess I never really realized.
And it became the most pivotal game.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the last 2 major releases, the last one, Breath of the Wild, happens so late in the chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people believe that it actually reconverges all the timelines.
Right.
Which, it's like, how do you do that? Well, it's magic.
That's the easy answer.
And the one before that, Skyward Sword, was the first chronologically.
Right.
In the whole thing.
Okay. And, they just re-released Link's Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's anywhere this right here could really go. And even moving forward, it could just be more of a linear timeline, because everything converges back to one and goes forward.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well, it makes it a little less confusing.
A whole lot less confusing.
Because I made the reference, and I know it's not on the same level as this, but it's a lot like Star Wars, where the first couple of ones that come out were like the middle 3.
Yeah.
Like, well, how the crap does that happen? And then the prequels come out, and you're like, well, how the crap does that happen? And then these last few have come out, and now you're like, why did that happen? So, but yeah, for me as a gamer coming up, I just thought it was all here's the first game, here's the second game, here's a follow
Yeah.
up, here's a follow up.
And see, unlike Mario, it's
Sure,
always the same Mario and Luigi in every game.
sure.
With Legend of Zelda, it's always a different Link and Zelda.
It's the same. It's still Link and
Yeah,
Zelda.
it's kind of the same, but they're reincarnated.
Right, right.
So same
Like they don't
hero,
have
same princess, just
they don't have like memories of the past game, right? I mean, it's just I guess it's a way for them to put a
yeah.
new game and a new story together.
And that's how they can kind of reconstruct the world,
Sure,
because it's like, oh, it's been 1,000 years and things have changed.
right. We now have flying cars. Good luck.
That's a theory that they're going to eventually turn into
Really?
maybe
Like
sci-fi.
That's
They've toyed with it.
interesting.
They've toyed with it.
That's very interesting. So, trying to get back on topic though. This game, I know I've said it before. I was at my cousin's house and they had this game, and I played it not really realizing what it was, I guess. I didn't really realize it was Zelda. Didn't really get in the story. I just played it. I enjoyed playing it, finding the little things, these little secrets and hidden stuff. And boy, howdy, there's a ton of them.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize there were that many until I really started my playthrough, and I kept. Well, I don't want to say dying because I played on the Switch, and they've got the instant rewind. And by the way, if you guys don't have the Switch and the Super Nintendo Online, it is well worth it just for those little moments, because there's a lot of times you'll die and you have to start from wherever your last save point was or your last checkpoint or whatnot. With that save state that they have, click the buttons, roll back 30 seconds. This guy's about to shoot you. Just list lazily to the left, I guess.
So you remember when we played through Super Mario World, we couldn't beat that one bonus at level?
Yes.
Imagine how great that rewind feature would have been right there.
Well, at that point, yes. Now, I did actually go back and beat that game after we reviewed it, and it was on the Switch, but it wasn't necessarily because of that. It was just because of the way my power-ups were. Like,
oh, yeah.
Because we were trying to review it a little bit in a hurry. Well, what I ended up doing was going and getting the Blue Yoshi and just flying through it. So I cheated. It was a completely different way of cheating, though. Well, it's not cheating. I beat it. It was legit. I mean, really, it was legit, but it's maybe not the way they intended the level to be beaten.
Well, they put Blue Yoshi in there for a reason.
That's right. That's right. Just like the cape. Yeah, I guess I could have, if I could have got enough speed up, I could have bounced and did it. But yeah, save states, awesome, fantastic,
Incredible feature.
Fall in a hole, just save state it back one. So again, a fantastic feature, and I keep saying I'm going to get a Switch. I promise I am, but there's got to be at least one game on it before I do it.
Third, what game is that?
Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, okay.
You should have known that.
Well, I keep forgetting it's not on it because it's on the classic.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm looking forward to when they kind of get that next group thrown in the library, what it's going to be.
Yeah,
because I'm waiting for
that. They're kind of overdue for that.
Yeah, unless they're waiting till the Christmas holidays, maybe to sell more Switches. I don't know. I mean, it's here. They better start doing it now if they're going to. Yeah. Unless they're going to wait till the first of the year to do it, like a first quarter 2020 thing. So,
anywho,
another pig trail, rabbit trail.
Yeah.
So I played this game for a little while. Kind of got stuck on it. I was trying my best not to Google anything, trying to figure it out on my own. I've got a guy at work that listens to the show quite a bit. His name is Josh. I'll go ahead and say his last name is Faucet, like a faucet in the bathroom. So if we end up giving him a nickname, it's going to have to be just Faucet or Moen. There you go, Moen or Delta. Anyway, he when we first started, he said, "Hey, y'all need to do this game because I love this game growing up," and I got to a point where I could beat it in like 3 hours. I'm like, whatever. There's no way you can beat this game in 3 hours. Well, if you don't necessarily, there's a lot of stuff in the game you don't necessarily have to have, and if you're good at avoiding a lot of the stuff, you can absolutely. do it in 3 hours.
I mean, a lot of the hearts are optional. I mean, there are people who beat these games with just the 3 hearts you start out with.
That is not me, sir.
Nay,
not on Super, on the original Super for sure.
I can say every Zelda game I've ever beaten, with the exception of Breath of the Wild, I've 100%ed.
Okay. And you're close on Breath of the Wild. You showed me a little bit of that Thursday.
Yeah.
I went over to your house and we kind of dabbled in it just real quick. And you were just kind of showing me some things and saying, how's this? How's this? This is linked here, and just blew my mind with how much you knew of it.
Yeah.
And I know pre-show you said, I'm not going into the lore. Don't ask me. I'm not going to completely nerd out. So, start out, you're asleep. Your uncle has a dream, takes off to go. You look like you want to say something.
I was saying, it seems like a lot of Zelda games start out like that with Link asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ocarina started out that way.
Okay.
Breath
Well,
of
he
the
was a
Wild
boy. He
started
was a
out that
boy
way.
there, right? In Ocarina, he was a boy, but he's asleep.
Yeah.
Okay. I do remember that.
Yeah, he's always a boy.
Okay.
A male, rather.
Well, I'm talking about a boy.
Oh yeah,
child.
young boy. Yeah, child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I never really got that in the controls a little bit. But I guess that's why I never really got into ocarinas, because like, man, I gotta go here, I gotta go here, gotta go here. Then next thing I know, I'm 35 and got a sword and a full beard. So anyway, yeah, you start out asleep. Your uncle goes to find Zelda. He gets into the castle,
Gets destroyed by the first creature he runs into,
which
had to have been a rat.
yeah, or a bat maybe.
Dude,
So,
Uncle,
yeah.
you suck.
So progress forward. Finally, go get the. You have to go get the pendants in order to get the Master Sword. The Master Sword's needed to break the magical barrier where Princess Zelda's being held. No, hold on, I'm too far ahead. Zelda's in a dungeon. You got to go save Zelda. You save Zelda. She stays at the sanctuary. You've got to have. Why did you have to have the Master Sword? I've forgotten now. That was.
You always got a Master Sword.
That's magic. That's the easy answer.
Now, look, this is every Zelda game.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's-
it's the tutorial part
It's
basically.
like, hey, Zelda needs to be saved. Well, how do I do that? Well, you need these objects. How do I
Yeah.
get those objects? You need to go to beat these dungeons.
Right.
During the course of the dungeon, you get an item you use to beat the boss.
Yep.
You get the object, go get the other object. Usually 3 objects will take you to the next step of the story when you find out you need more objects.
Of course. So, a funny story with this. I was playing this on Caitlin's Switch, and I'm just like thinking I'm doing fantastic. I find the first pendant, I get the boots, the speed boots. I finally, figure out what I've got to do to knock the book off the shelf in the library, and then use it for the second desert dungeon, whatever you want to call it. Finally made it through it. Got that pendant. Go to the last one, get that pendant. I get all the way to Zelda, in the first fight with who is that?
Aghanim.
Okay, is he Gandalf?
Gandalf.
I mean, please God, we gotta edit that
No,
out.
it's losing.
Is he Ganon? Is he Ganon?
He's being possessed by Ganon.
Okay,
Which is another recurring theme.
okay, because Ganon's in. Later we find out Ganon's in the Dark World.
Yeah, it's another
Okay, I
recurring
gotcha.
theme that you have this enemy, and it's like, oh, it's not Ganon this time. Nah, Ganon's there. He's just possessing him.
Sure. Okay. So I made it this point, get all the way to the Dark World, which is past that first, I guess, tutorial little bit section, and I save because you can save within the game. Hit the select button and save, and then when you start out, you'll start out back at I think you can choose between the sanctuary or Link's house. But also on the Switch itself, it's got a hard save in it itself. So I saved, and then I picked it up maybe a week later, and I went to load the game, and I didn't load it. I just started it, so it started me, from the very beginning, from the title screen. I said, "Hey, I know I've got to save. Let me jump in this save real quick." I jumped in the save, and little did I know I was on save game, not load game. So everything I had gotten up to that point, I
man.
saved over. And I'm mad because I'm so far into this game. Like I've got it in my head, I've almost beat this game. I have no idea about anything past
Yeah.
the section I was at. So I've saved over it. And I'm like, man, all right, I've got to get through this game. Let me get through it. I got through the next part of it in 15 minutes. It took me 15 minutes to get back to where I was, and I'd been working on that part for 3 hours.
See that, and that's the thing. Like your buddy was talking about beating it in 3 hours.
Right.
The Zelda games, they're not just overly difficult.
Right.
It's just figuring out how to do things,
Right.
which is part of the appeal of it.
Right. There's an order to it for sure. And again, there's a lot of items that you don't necessarily have to get, but I've spent a little bit of time in getting them, like the ice rod. When in the world do you use the ice rod and it's actually needed? Like, I understand the fire rod at least for a couple of little puzzles, but I don't get the ice rod. When are you supposed to actually use it?
When you're at a party and no one brought ice and it's hot out, and you got a cooler full of drinks, and it's like, oh man, we need something to cool these drinks down. And then Link shows up with the ice rod.
Oh my god!
Clutch. Absolutely clutch.
I love you. Gummit, I love you. If I'd asked Caitlin that, you know what it would have been? I don't know. Let me check your Wikipedia and I'll find out. There was not that story. That is fantastic. This right here shows me that whenever you are feeling well and you are here, it's gold, buddy. It's gold.
Pure gold.
So on this current playthrough, I made it all the way past to that point and finally got around and found the first pendant. Continued on, found what is it? A hook shot? Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah.
Is it really a hook shot?
It is the hook shot.
I got my hands up in the air like we just scored a touchdown.
And it is in a lot of Zelda games.
Okay. It wasn't in the original for Nintendo. Like, I remember having to find a raft and a blue flame and a red flame and all that kind of crap. And I'm like, what? A ring, a blue ring and a red ring, maybe?
Now, my knowledge of both the Zelda games on regular Nintendo is not that great.
Okay, but it just had a lot of obscure stuff.
Fairly certain this is the first appearance of the hook shot.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain it's the first appearance of the Master Sword too.
It is. They did. Okay. I did remember seeing that. But again, I thought they did a really good job. So currently I have progressed through. I've gotten the second and the third pendant. I'm on my way to go find the fourth. And then you called and said, "Hey, we got to record because we got to release this in a couple of hours." So that's kind of where we're at right now. Now you've beaten the game, right?
20 years ago.
It's a little hard once you start getting used to the 3D Zelda games and like you kind of already know the story. It's like, okay.
It's hard to go back. It's I can't say it's like Mario because I can go back to 2D Mario.
Yeah, because it's a platformer.
But like this, Link to the Past heralded as one of the greatest games of all time.
Right.
Sure. It's not in my top 5 Zelda games.
Okay.
Not because it's bad. Not because I don't like
not
it.
your preferable top 5.
I prefer the 3D ones.
Okay. That is completely fine. You know, this right here is probably my number 1, but just simply because I haven't played any of the other or beaten any of the other ones. I've got more, even all that time I spent with Twilight Princess. And you watched me play Twilight Princess, and that was probably the most you've laughed in 10 years at how bad. I died one time, like completely died, and Hammy looked and said, "I've never seen that screen before." And just made fun of me for dying because I'm terrible.
No, I've seen it in other Zelda games. Twilight Princess, man, I don't know. I breezed through it several times.
Thanks for making me feel inadequate. So the rest of the game, obviously, you find the pendants, you defeat
Ganon.
Is he okay?
And if Gandalf shows up, you beat him too.
Okay,
you're just handing out whoopings.
You're like that meme.
Yeah.
So there's 2 versions of Ganon, right? How does that work? Like he's got like a almost, I don't want to say human, but almost a humanoid form.
That's not in this game. That's not until Ocarina.
Okay, but that's traditionally how it is, at least from that point going forward. He's got 2 forms.
Right. He's got the human form. He's got the beast form.
Is it a human form or is it like a humanoid? Like he's like a pig or something, right? Now the reason why I say that is because you remember the old weekday morning Mario World or Mario cartoon. Like on Fridays they would have Zelda, and I hated those episodes. Even as a kid, I hated those episodes. Because it's cartoons, I'm getting ready to catch the bus. I'm watching it, and I remember him being kind of a pig creature for some reason.
That's his beast form.
Okay.
The human form is human looking.
Okay.
So,
well, I kept saying a humanoid. It's like a pig walking, but if that's his beast form,
it's like a pig demon.
Okay. Something about Nintendo and pigs. They don't like them.
No, they don't like pigs at all.
Well, so you proceed forward. You save the day.
Yep. Beat Ganon. You save Hyrule. Save Zelda, of course.
Right.
You get the Triforce. Use your wish to restore everything how it
Mm-hmm.
was. So your uncle, who sucks at combat, is back alive. The king is back.
Okay.
Everyone's happy. Great
Huh.
ending.
Okay.
The rolling credits, it's showing you all these people and
Right.
how you saved the day.
Okay. And at the very end of the game, you go and put the Master Sword back.
Right. It says, and Master Sword sleeps again, ... forever. Which was only
And a
until
couple of days ago, you sent me a a meme of that, or a snapshot of that, and then underneath it, you sent a message that says, "Yeah, until the next game."
Yeah. Master
So-
Sword will be used many more times.
Oh yeah, it's pretty ba. Not gonna lie. I found myself, especially with the save state stuff. If I got hit, I would just rewind to right before I got hit, so that way I could keep the what would you call that? It's magic. I got it. I get that part of it. What seriously? What would you call that? Just the I don't know, the embers that come up when you're full power and you swing the sword and these little embers come off of it.
Power.
Magic.
Yeah, magic.
So one of the things that kind of threw me for a loop the very first time that I played this on the Switch before I saved over it like a dummy. When you get to the top of the mountain and it turns you into a rabbit, I spent so much time. I had no idea what I needed to do at that point. Like, just walk around as a rabbit. And I'm like, okay, I can't hit anything. I can't do anything. All I've got, I can't pull any weapons. All I can do is pull this mirror. And I thought like I had to stay in that area like the entire I literally thought I was that close to the end of the game. Like I'm missing something. So I just go back and forth between the rabbit part and the Link part, staying on top of that stupid mountain, thinking I was almost done, and then I finally progressed forward and I learned I probably wasn't even a third of the way done of the game.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Like I said, they're meaty games, man.
Well, they're meaty, and I guess that's why the magic is obviously the number one thing. Like I don't watch TV shows that's got a whole lot of magic in them.
Except Game of Thrones.
It really doesn't have magic in it.
Yeah, it's got dragons and zombie armies, and I would say that's magic.
I guess it was a little different though.
You can't explain that with science. Your science has no power here.
Dragons, maybe. I mean, to an extent, but like that was, I don't know. That was
Brought
kind
Jon
of
Snow back from the dead.
okay.
I tell you what, I wish they'd done with magic is redone the entire last season. What a crapshoot that was.
One of these days, and this right here might be something that we do, if we get through every game known to mankind, that we go back and we let you give a quick season by season review of Game of Thrones. Just so you can get it off your chest one more time, because you're still bitter, buddy. You're still a bit bitter.
Yeah, I will be for a while.
And by a while, he means forever.
That was an investment.
It really was. It's years of investment, because I didn't get into it till late. See, this is, well, we'll save some of that.
Yeah, I think we're at the beginning of a rabbit trail right now.
Yeah, we are. Let's just turn back and go back. One of the most annoying things about the game is when you got into, is it the Lost Woods?
Yeah.
I'm still learning. The Lost Woods, you've got the punk that will come by and just beat the crap out of you for everything. Like he'll steal your rupees, he'll steal your bombs, he'll steal your arrows. And he's like a step faster than you, so he always catches you. If you run by him, he always catches you. You can't kill him. You can't knock him back. You can't do anything to him. I hate that guy. He's a putz. Is putz a word in 2019? I'm bringing it back. He's a putz. Matt
Riddle called Finn Balor a putz on NXT.
I saw that.
So yeah, it's back.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go ahead and stake claim to that, even though NXT was this past week.
Yeah, I would say my biggest complaint of the game is the fact that Link has pink hair.
Okay, I knew we were going to get into this. So, a bit of a backstory. I'm going to let you kind of tell it. The best that you
the best I understand, because I've seen different like versions of why he has pink hair.
This bothers you. I can
It
see it in
it
your
does
face right
because the
now.
artwork that was released, he has sandy brown hair like he does in every other game. No, it was a graphical mistake.
Anomaly, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, or
like
just a pixel color kind of thing. I mean, because you're talking about 16-bit games. There's not a whole lot of area to do stuff
yeah,
anyway to kind of
it
distinguish.
was some sort of mistake because it was originally supposed to be the right color. And the way I understand it, they're sitting there looking at the game. And they're like, "Why is his hair pink?" And the the head of it, I think it was Miyamoto,
Mm.
was like, "I like it. Let's keep it." Okay, so
I don't know.
makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
It kind of bothered me as a kid because I was like, I thought Link was a boy.
So, so the thing that you had the most questions about was you thought he was a boy, and yet he's got pink hair.
Yeah, I was like, why does he have pink hair? That's just
Now you see why everybody gets Zelda confused with Link.
yeah.
There you go. That game, that one game. Maybe Link was just emo before emo was cool. He's a trendsetter, just kind of like me with putts. Even though somebody technically beat me to it earlier this week.
We know in high school I dyed my hair green for homecoming.
What was the spray, right?
spray.
It wasn't a dye. Yeah, it's just the hairspray.
So maybe Link was going to his homecoming and his high school had pink colors. I don't know. I wish they'd fix that.
Well, I don't know. Hey, the way everything's getting remade these days into some sort of a HD remake or whatnot, it could happen, I guess.
Which, by the way, I'm surprised it hasn't gotten an HD remake yet. And I'm also surprised this was only Zelda game on Super Nintendo.
You know, that was what one of the things I was going to bring up. You know, for all the issues that the Zelda 2 had with the side scroller hybrid kind of thing that they had, you know, this is, you know, they did the top down in the first one, kind of went to a top down / side scroller in the second one, and then they come back to the top down in this one. So they kind of returned to form. But this game was fairly early in the Super Nintendo life in 1991. You've got what 90? When did Ocarina come out? Was
97.
Was it 97?
Yeah.
Well, the 64 came out in 96. Is this kind of like some of the other games that we've explored? You know, where they've said, okay, we're going to do this game, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, well, here's a 64. Let's turn it to a 3D game and just axe this one. Like, I haven't researched it enough to actually know that, but it is funny for such a franchise as this that there was no other game that come out for it.
I wonder too if
Or they just move everything to Game Boy.
That's what I'm wondering, if maybe they just thought, well, let's work on Link's Awakening right now.
Right.
And then when we get done with that, we'll see what platform we're working with.
Right. And maybe that's it, because I don't know. I only thought there was, okay, you've got with Zelda 2, this one, Ocarina, Mask. What was after that on the major platforms?
Oh,
Twilight was on Wii, right?
Ocarina, Mask. Then you had Wind Waker.
I'm completely forgetting about GameCube. So you got Wind Waker,
then Twilight Princess,
and Twilight Princess.
Which Ocarina, I think we were calling it the 7th or 8th. That would mean it's the 5th released.
Well, I've got it as the 4th. Just if you go by the major game release, because if you're a Zelda fanboy, if you're a Zelda fanboy, you know about all the other games. But like, when did all that other stuff come out? Like, was all that before Ocarina? Not chronologically, but like our timeline.
You had the 2 Nintendos.
Sure.
You had Super Nintendo. You had Game Boy. Then you started in 64.
How many were there for Game Boy? I thought there were 2 for Game Boy.
For regular Game Boy, there was just 1.
Okay.
For Game Boy Color, you had the remake of Link's Awakening DX. You had the 2 Oracle games. Both of those came out after Ocarina.
Okay, so Ocarina still is going to stand as
the 5th. Yes.
Okay. So see, so I'm completely, forgetting the Game Boy at this point, and crap, I just forgot about the GameCube just then too.
Yeah.
So, at that point I had already moved away, so I completely lost touch. But at least I knew about, the of the 6, I guess 5 of the original kind of 6 of the big system. So Like I had no idea that this series went as deep as it did.
Yeah, and with all the
And it's
different
fascinating
releases
too.
that it has, and the fact that the games are always, oh, this next game takes place before the first game,
Right.
or the next game takes place after the first game but before this game.
Right.
It is kind of confusing. It does allow them to kind of reinvent the wheel every time they release a game, but it's confusing.
Well, there's two other major franchises that kind of follow that direction too. One being Metal Gear,
Yeah,
because
which might be done.
well, it may be, but if you go back and look, they started with, I guess, the original Metal Gear for Nintendo. Then I think there was another one. Then all of a sudden they went to Metal Gear Solid for PlayStation, and oh my god, it's completely different character. And then
That and all the snakes are different.
yeah, Naked Snake, Solid Snake, Liquid Snake,
Venomous snake, garter snake, chicken snake, Jake the snake. So a whole lot of snakes there.
I'm out right now. That was not planned. That was not planned. Oh my gosh. It's not every day you can throw an old school Jake the Snake reference in there somewhere. I've missed you so much. So yeah, that, and then what was it? Oh, Terminator. Terminator's the world's worst about throwing crap. Just, hey, we've got a little bit of time here. Let's throw a movie in.
And the thing with Terminator is every movie they release completely erases the movie before it.
I guess technically it does because it's all time travel.
Well, this whole thing has been, oh, we gotta save John Connor because he's gonna fight the machines.
Yep.
The newest one that just came out said, oh, John Connor died in '99. There's actually someone else who led the humans against the machines. It's like, my gosh, I can't keep up.
Gosh. Well, they had the Fox series there for a little bit, and it was Sarah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if that's part of it too, but they just.
And Cersei played Sarah Connor.
Well, how about that? There's your Game of Thrones tieback.
I think I need to look that up.
I think she was in it. I don't know if she played Sarah Connor.
That's going to bother me.
It probably is. That's why you're going to look. But so again, it's a fantastic story. Probably one that I could get into, but I've got to find that hook that really. Where you go? I got to find that hook that really just draws me into the game and makes me want to play the rest of the series. And I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's just I've got to find it. It's got to be the thing that does it for me. Like, why do I play Sonic so much? Even to this day, why do I play it so much? Because there's a hook there. The hook for me was Supersonic. I mean, honestly, it was.
And the fact that during the entire course of the game, you really only need one button.
It made it very simple. Yes, it did.
It's like A, B, and C. You just pick one, press it. Did you ever go crazy and press different ones at different times?
I did when they did the spin dash, because I could push down and go ABC, ABC, and he'd get to the spin dash. I always thought he would get to the spin dash faster. But when you spin dash just a couple of times, it's the same one, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would sit there and hold down and go ABC, 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 and just. And I thought I was going to go just off the screen fast, but eventually, that little spin dash sound that it does, eventually it just it'll repeat, and then it kind of gets a little higher, and a little higher, a little higher, and it gets to a point it's so high it doesn't even do anything. You're just sitting there spinning, and there's a little dust coming up. Of course, you don't go any lower or anything, or like physically. Yeah, I was stupid as a kid.
But yeah, I see what you mean. You need something that really makes you want to play the next one.
Right. Especially because this is, I guess, my kind of critique. It's the same, but different. I don't know why that almost sounded like a song, but it's the same. Every story is the same. Gotta go save the princess, but it's kind of different.
It is.
But Mario's like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not to the adventure standpoint, not at least in the 2D games anyway, but Mario's like that. I mean, it's a simple formula. Earthworm Jim was like that.
But yeah, I know what you mean. In the Zelda games, they're always, save the princess, gather the relics, do this and that.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of cool callbacks to past games in them.
Okay.
Which I think is why Breath of the Wild was so popular, because it kind of broke that formula.
Right.
It's like do it at your own pace, whatever order you want to.
Okay.
And
I mean, you can beat it without doing everything.
you can
Like, you still have to do everything here, but you don't have to get everything.
you can go straight from the little tutorial area straight to the final boss and beat the game.
You better be good.
Well, there's a video of a guy doing it in less than 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
So he's literally running around in his Link underwear.
he's in the underwear the whole time.
That is amazing.
It's like Link wakes up. It's like I'm gonna end this man's career. I went straight for him.
Well, I've enjoyed the game. I do want to finish it. Like I said, I've been playing this for several weeks, just a little bit at a time. But guess what just ended yesterday? Football season. Our football season. I'm not talking about Alabama because two is hurt. I'm talking about Maze's football team. Won the championship yesterday.
He's a 2-time champion.
He played 2 years. He's won 2 championships. He's a good luck charm. He should better just quit while he's ahead, though. But yeah, we had our final game. So, I know basketball season's around the corner, but it's not near the time constraints. Not near as demanding. All I can do is just yell at kids, and all they got to do is run faster, and that's how it's going to be.
So a lot more free time
to do this. For me to play the games, for me and you to get together and play the games. So I'm hoping that 31 through infinity
and beyond
are going to be pretty good. So
what's your final verdict on Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past?
I like it a lot. By the end, I will probably definitely say that I love it. But again, I'm looking for that hook that's like, okay, what's going to make me play the next one?
Right.
So I don't want to say jury's still out, but I really do like it. I've really gotten into it. I found a lot of the stuff,
Well,
I'm beating the enemies and stuff.
Mayhaps we can get into the 3D Zelda games next.
Perhaps. I will spoil it. I don't think it's in any of the next ones that we've got mapped out. I don't think there's any Zeldas mapped out.
There's not.
Okay.
To give you plenty of time.
Right. So that pig trail we're going to go down, I've completely forgot about it now.
We lost it. It got away.
Well, I think, honestly, and it's funny you said that, I think it's got something to do with Lost and Magic. I think that's where we were at. We were talking about it. I'm starting to, you were talking about wanting to, crap, I don't know. I do want to say Maze has expressed a lot of interest in watching Lost, and I've told you this off air. So we've kind of gone back, and we're starting to watch a couple of episodes of Lost, or at least after practice we were. And I think going forward we're going to get into it. And I kind of expressed to you how neat it would be for just me and you to talk about it, like on air. But again, it's kind of a lot like this. It's hard to go back when you kind of already know the end result.
Yeah.
But I'm really getting back into it because a lot of things I forgot about. I'm like, where did this come in? Where did this come? Oh, I forgot about this part, kind of stuff. So
Justin's apparently getting back into it.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. But yeah, it's on Hulu. We're watching a couple of episodes a night. We're about to start season 3. So pretty neat little thing there. You got what are you doing? You got questions?
I do.
Okay, we're gonna do the questions that you got. Okay.
This is from Roast Beef, aka Cousin Jeremy. He sent these a while back. He said, "What was your favorite Zelda game?"
Okay.
For you, it's probably gonna be a Link to the Past.
For now, it's gonna be a Link to the Past. I really did enjoy Twilight Princess. I had to get around the whole. Is the Light World, Dark World thing in every one of them?
It's in a lot of them, but not every one of them.
Okay, because it wasn't Link to the Past and it wasn't Twilight Princess.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they're
very similar.
Okay, I was gonna say they're pretty close on the timeline as well, right? Or is it like a
They're
different
different
part?
timelines.
Okay, okay. Without going into it, yeah, I would say that I've seen Caitlin play a little bit of Breath of the Wild. I think I would really like that one if
That
I
one's
got
an
into it.
experience right there.
Um, but I know how much you love Ocarina and maybe not as much, but how much you love Ocarina and Majora's
Oh yeah,
Mask, and I really do want to play those. I'd really love to play them if there was an HD remake of them.
they may be soon.
Well, I hope so, or at least maybe at least on a 2-stick layout.
Yeah, that would be great.
Graphics aside, I think that's going to be the hardest part for me. So that's probably my answer right now, though, is going to be Link to the Past.
Yeah, I mean, Ocarina is my favorite Zelda game and my favorite game of all time. With Breath of the Wild being very close behind it.
That's amazing though, because that was a 96, 97 game
Yeah.
you said earlier, and that it's that high, but a 2019 game. It's not
2017 game.
2017 game. 20 years
Yep.
later, another game of the same title.
Well, it's
character.
I remember
people.
playing Ocarina, and I guess it's because when we were teenagers when I played it.
Well, there's the nostalgia
Yeah.
standpoint that really makes that one stick out.
But when I was playing it, like I felt, I guess the hook that you talked about got
There you
me,
go.
and I was like, this story is unreal. This setting is unreal. It had this weird moment where I was like, this is massive. This is epic. This is
Yeah.
what epic actually is.
Sure.
And I didn't really have that again until Breath of the Wild,
Okay.
where I got that same feeling that I guess a feeling of immersion where I was like, I'm part of this world. You know?
Right.
I'm in this world. But anyway, don't want to nerd out too much. He also asked, which Link is your favorite Link?
I don't know what that question is.
Which Link from the games? Because, like I said, they're reincarnated from the same person,
Warrior.
same
Right.
same warrior, but they all have they all kind of have different personalities
Okay.
a little bit. I would say my favorite Link is Breath of the Wild Link.
Okay. All right. I'm probably going to have to pass on that one because I really don't know. I'm not. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of.
They all have different titles too, by the way.
Explain that.
Like I think the one from Link to the Past is called the Hero of Legend.
Okay. I believe that's right.
Ocarina is Hero of Time.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild is Hero of the Wild.
Okay, so it's themed kind of toward the game.
Right.
Okay.
Like Wind Waker was Hero of the Winds. But yeah, the Hero of Time Link was my favorite Link until Breath of the Wild.
Okay. I think I'll have to refrain because I just don't know enough about him to really say.
That's fair.
Sorry, roast beef.
In the third question, he said, if you had a magical ocarina that let you time travel, it's like Ocarina of Time,
Mm-hmm.
what game would you stop yourself from purchasing?
I thought it was gonna be where would you take yourself, but what game would I stop myself from purchasing? That's I guess that's related. Let me think of it. You got one? I know you've had this list a little bit longer.
WCW Mayhem.
We had two wrestling references in this podcast.
I want my $40 or $50 back.
Mayhem or Backstage Assault?
I never got bought Backstage Assault.
Okay,
I
knew
bought
it was
Mayhem.
a game. I've still got Mayhem for PlayStation.
I bought
1.
Mayhem at friggin' Kmart and was so
Before it went out of
excited.
business.
On the way home, I was reading the booklet. I was like, this is going to be the greatest game ever. Because I was fresh off WCW NWO Revenge.
Yep.
Put the game in, play it for like 10 minutes. I was like, what is this crap?
It's broke. Is it more or less broken than WWE 2K20?
Oh.
I think they've finally gotten around where they kind of fixed it. I think that whole entire series is broken. They need to
It's
they need to
bad.
relaunch it. That
Yeah,
whole
they-
mini game crap they have in there and trying to
They got to get away from 2K. Oh man. Yeah, I would say that WWE 2K games are worse than Mayhem.
I'm leaning that way too. I haven't played one since 16, but a lot of the stuff that was in 16 is still here. They update the roster, they update the graphics. That's about it. They keep everything else the same.
When you get pinned, you got this little mini game where it's like
Yep,
spinning in
I
a
hate
circle and you have to time it.
Yep, and you've
You
got
get pinned by like the first arm drag that takes you down.
yep.
And when you're playing online, because I played it with Jeff online, aka what was his name?
Um,
Pastrami.
yes,
I
gotcha,
blanked out.
Mighty.
I'm sorry, Pastrami. And there was a little bit of a lag online,
Oh wow.
so
So you would hit it on your
you
end, but
had to hit
wouldn't
it early
register.
than what you wanted to.
Well, see, it's like it's a huge round indicator. This is the way it was on 16. Correct me if it's still
It's
the
still
same.
the same.
It's a huge round indicator, and you push A. Like there's a dial
Yeah.
that starts from the left, so 0 on the left, and it goes counterclockwise. And there's a dial, and there's a little section of green, and I guess different superstars have a bigger green
Right.
area, but you have to stop the line. It's kind of like kicking an extra point in football.
Exactly.
Because if I ever played on football, I had to do the same thing. I had to kick it early in order to get a perfect kick, or it'd take off out of bounds because it was, lag behind. So,
It's the dumbest mechanic I've ever seen in a wrestling game.
hey, bring back World Tour at least.
Yeah.
Bring back Revenge. Bring back No Mercy. Bring back SmackDown too. I mean, I can pin you right off the bat, but you're going to kick out of it.
Well,
You've
even-
got too much power. I don't know why there's not like a power indicator that determines that.
Even more recent ones like Day of Reckoning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, look, if I get beat up and I get hit with a finishing move, I'm going to get pinned.
Right.
I mean, it's
Not an arm drag because I can't time the stupid mini.
exactly.
Game.
It's momentum based. It's a lot better game. But I digress. WCW Mayhem, I would stop myself.
I think mine would probably be that terrible Dragon Ball Z game I bought that was so stinking hard.
Which one?
I've got it in the box. It's so bad I put it in the box. I never wanted to see it again.
Was it one of the Xenoverse games?
Maybe the first Xenoverse, I think.
Is that the one where I was watching you play it and like after like 20 minutes?
No, that was something different.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got the demo for it.
It's like,
No,
when are you
this
gonna
one-
play this game. You've been
going
through tutorials.
Exactly. No, this is the one where you started out with the Saiyan saga and the little Cybermen thing. I couldn't beat them. Like they're like the easiest character in the entire game, and I couldn't beat them. I was like, well, this is garbage because I suck. I don't know why it was so bad. I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's a reaction thing or what, but I hated that one.
Because you see Dragon Ball and you're expecting to just fly through and destroy everything. And
Well, yeah. I mean, like it's supposed to be.
yeah, so why am I getting beat up by these little guys? I'm freaking Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah. Well, see, that's another thing too. Like the one I was used to was that, oh gosh, what was it? The one on PlayStation 2 where you could get the different characters and you would like start all. You didn't have to like power up and become Super Saiyan 1 and power up Super Saiyan 2. It's like if you wanted Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you just went to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and that was your fighter for the thing.
Yeah,
So-
the only thing about the fighting games is it's weird when you've got Super Saiyan 3 Goku fighting Krillin.
Right, and Krillin
holding his
beats him.
own, Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. When it does it like that. Now, if you have to like build up enough power to become Super Saiyan 3, and if you can't build it up fast enough because your other opponent's all over you, makes sense. But anyway, did you ever give your rating on the game?
But I think it's pretty apparent and mine's going to be good.
Okay, all right. Well, you got a point.
I
there.
love it. I do love the Zelda games. And
Worth a playthrough every so often. I know you had said, didn't you say Cody Rhodes from
yeah.
AEW will play this game at least once a year?
Oh, yeah. He's a huge Zelda fan. Xavier Woods, a huge Zelda fan.
Okay.
So
He's got a lot of time to play it here lately.
he does.
So. For those of you who don't know, those are wrestling guys. Xavier Woods is Austin Creed on Twitter.
Up, down, down.
On Up, Down, Down. I'm sorry.
Tore his Achilles.
Tore his Achilles.
Oh,
that's a
that's
year,
painful.
buddy. That's a year.
Yeah.
So-
He's still doing some stuff like appearing at.
Oh, sure. I mean, he's still
events.
got appearances
Yeah.
to keep up, but yeah, he's out of ring action right now.
I like how Kofi and Big E are wearing the armbands, the
Yeah.
XW on it.
Yeah. A lot of talk that when he comes back, they're going to turn Big E and Xavier Woods heel against Kofi, just saying like he stole the spotlight and this, that, and that.
I hope not. I love New Day.
Well, the story's getting a little stale.
Maybe to you,
Well,
but that story's as fresh as those pancakes they toss out to me.
those pancakes are made like hours beforehand, right? They're probably cold.
I don't care.
Question: hey, I'm going to the show in Birmingham, Black Friday,
Yeah.
the Friday after Thanksgiving. So, I'm
Stick
looking
around
forward
after
to
it's
it.
over. You may see the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan.
I don't know. This is the only thing.
The-
They're building up to Survivor
Mhm.
Series. He's already supposedly announced he's not going to be there. They've already announced it. Months in advance, they've already announced that he's not going to be there. Now, I don't know if
Yeah.
that means he's not going to be there for the show or what, but
Well, this past SmackDown, after it went off the air, Fiend and Daniel Bryan had a match.
yeah, I saw that. Trying my best to stay away from all that extra stuff and just enjoy the dark matches like an actual fan, not a fanboy.
Yeah.
I miss that. If you're talking about time machines, I wish I could go back and know that wrestling wasn't what it actually is. Like
Scripted?
not fake, just scripted.
Darn right.
It's still real to me, damn it. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to go. I'm gonna boo the baby faces and cheer the heels.
When your baby face is a Roman Reigns, it's going to be pretty easy. You're not going to be alone.
No, probably not. It's gonna be like medieval times all over again.
Which was wildly inappropriate.
Yeah, I kind of ruined the story on that one, but I had a good time. No drinking was involved for Clint either.
Let me clarify. I like Roman Reigns. I do. He just only has like 4 moves.
Yeah, that's my thing, and I'm with you. And gosh, we could almost do our own wrestling podcast, but they're pushing the wrong people the wrong way too hard, and it's getting on everybody's nerve.
It is.
I'm talking about Seth Rollins. Absolutely. Great wrestler, good hand, does a good job. He really
Except
does.
he works burn it down in every sentence.
Kind of like Braun would get these hands.
Yeah.
He does the get these hands, and he does that little where he stands in the middle of the ring and throws his head or his arm around his head like he's about to do the figure 4, and then jumps out of the ring and does that thing where he runs around and
I'm just waiting for
Puts your
him to come
shoulder
around the
into him.
corner and just take a chair shot to the face.
well, they don't do that anymore. But
Doing some headshots lately.
not in WWE.
Yeah.
It's all protected
At,
headshots.
well,
though.
yeah, true. At Crown Jewel, Seth took a headshot.
Yeah, but AEW didn't though. Cody had some stitches.
Oh yeah, he's paying for it too.
Oh yeah, well he's paying for that, and then I think he got busted open again the other night.
I saw
so.
that. That was pretty rough looking.
I don't want to say this is attitude, WCW versus WWF era. It's a lot like it though. Like there's some good wrestling going on both channels to make you want to kind of go back and forth. But we live in a day and age of DVR, so I don't have to watch either of them live, and I can fast forward through all the commercials. So I'm enjoying this right now.
But
It's a good time. So
anyway, before we go off deep in WWE stuff,
yeah,
guess we can wrap up.
yeah, because you and I can just talk about this off air, and
can.
not everybody has to listen to our boring.
And we're going to.
conversations.
I got some things to talk to you about.
Okay. Real quick, I do want to plug Nick and Brandon's podcast.
Oh yeah.
It is called Talk or Go Home.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire concept is they're going to talk about whatever's on their mind, and they're going to talk until they get tired, and that's it. Like they did their intro episode not too long ago. It was supposed to be a 15-minute just intro. Hi, my name's Nick. I do this. Hi, my name's Brandon. I
AKA
do this.
Turkey.
AKA Turkey. So if you enjoyed the Turkey episodes, that sounds weird to say, but if you enjoyed the episodes with Turkey, how would you not enjoy an episode while eating turkey? Anyway,
Enjoyed his smooth baritone voice.
their first episode dropped, and they kind of talked about their favorite movies of all time. You gonna take a guess what Nick's might have been?
Jurassic Park.
No, it wasn't. It was Dark Knight.
Really?
Yep, because he had just seen the Joker. He told a whole backstory about he just saw the Joker, but still thought Ledger's Joker was a better Joker. And that begot this, and that begot this, and then he even said it before I knew it. We were talking for an hour, and I said, "Welcome to podcasting." So,
well, that's awesome. They're both awesome friends of the show, and I'm glad.
Yeah. They're working all the kinks out to get on all the major platforms. I know they're on Spotify. That's where I listened to their first one at. They're going through Anchor, which I think has something through fm.com or something. So just search them up.
We can put a link on Twitter.
We'll try to put a link on ours at least to their page real quick. I don't know if they got a website and all that kind of stuff. I know it's just, hey, let's do it. Hey, okay. And that's kind of where we started. So, that again is Talk or Go Home. Oh, take a guess what Brandon's favorite movie was.
Jurassic Park.
For the love. No, it wasn't. He said it was one of his favorite movies. Kind of surprised me a little bit. Do you want to take a real guess?
Jurassic Park 2.
Jesus. Back to the Future.
Really?
Back to the Future was Brandon's favorite movie of all time,
Huh.
and they kind of got on that series of everything. So, it's a very neat conversation. Very neat conversation. So if you enjoyed that kind of just back and forth and just people talking and just hey, wherever comes up, they just talk about. Absolutely. They want us to be on the show.
You want to take a guess at my favorite movie of all time?
I know it's Jurassic Park, but for the sake of conversation, I'm going to say
it's Citizen Kane.
God Almighty, I missed you. No offense to Caitlin. Caitlin did a good, serviceable job. You need to listen to that episode. I thought it was a pretty decent episode.
But, just like with sandwiches, when you're expecting ham and you get treat, just not the same.
It's just not the same. I think, and I'm throwing this on you, surprise. I think, and you can tell me yes or no right now, the way we end the show is we go ahead and spoil what next week's show is going to be. Meaning, okay, so join us next week when we talk about XYZ.
Okay.
That way it's a hook and people can decide on the front side if they want to listen to it. And hey, here's the thing. Like, if you don't like Zelda and you listen to this episode, but there's some good stuff within the episode, like some stories and stuff you're going to hear. So I hope everybody, regardless of the title or the content, that you listen to the program. So,
because Link to the Past considered by many to be one of the greatest games of all time, but there are still a lot of people out there that aren't Zelda fans. But sure. I think the next episode is universally loved.
I hope it is as well, because it's a fan-freaking-tastic game. We're going back. We're going to stick with the Super Nintendo, although I guess we kind of did this on the Switch. But we're going to review one of Hammy's all-time favorite games.
One of your all-time favorite games.
One of my all-time favorite games.
Everyone I know, it's one of their all-time favorite games.
Even though I never owned a Super Nintendo, by God, I found a way to play this game when it was new. I remember playing it in the arcade. I remember playing it on the Super Nintendo.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I got it? I'll save it for next week.
Save it for next week. So join us next week when the game is
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4: Turtles in Time.
Hell yes.